This is the 25th postseason appearance for the University of Illinois. They made it to the Sweet 16 last year, but this is a completely different team compared to last year's squad. You also had the NFL Coach of the Year in Matt Nagy now in his second year. Mitch Trubisky doing a lot, but the one thing that was the key question the entire start of this press conference was on one position: kickers. Do you want to make another prediction on how many sacks Khalil Mack is going to put down on Aaron Rodgers?
I'll put it at 2.5.
2.5. He gonna give him that half sack. I am here with the now all-time winningest coach in the state of Illinois after this win. You did it. It's our city, our tradition, and the 2019 Boys City Tournament tips off this week in the Capitol at the Bank of Springfield Center. There is no light coming in here at all. I can't see any. I don't know where I am right now. Is this a cute look, Billy? I talked to you at halftime that you said that these guys were just physically dominated, then you come out and physically dominate Mount Zion. What does that just have to say about your team this year? We all know Taryn Wallace now is a key factor for Springfield High on both the football field and the basketball court. But
I could have been dead.
what we know now almost didn't happen.
But basically, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. They kind of said something to us, and like we didn't know what they said. Like we think that they said, "Who is that?" or like a different name that not around us. So they pulled up at like 15, 20 feet, and the guy in the back seat like leaned over, and the guy that had the gun was the driver. So he just reached back and shot, and I got hit, and my friend got hit in the leg too.
All of that happened on November 12th, 2016, right outside the Lawrence Adult Center on 1st and Laurel Street. That shot busted a ligament in his dominant hand.
I knew they told him he would have no function in part of his finger, at least they thought initially, and that was pretty traumatizing for him.
It was bad because I wanted to work out, so all I can work out is my legs, and I couldn't write, so I just had to use a computer. Or if I didn't have a computer in that class, I had like another teacher write it for me. It was just like, it was horrible.
Like anything, Taryn attacked the rehab, and you would never be able to tell anything's ever happened if you watch him play.
I'm not gonna let that one mistake stop me, so I'll keep pushing.
And that type of determination has led Taryn to becoming a big leader for the Senators, both on and off the field.
That type of toughness is definitely measurable on a team when you've got a leader like that going out there and not saying a word and not complaining and just going and battling. It definitely filters down through the team. He can put his name in Springfield history. He's that type of person and has that type of motivation and that type of impact.
In Springfield, Karli Bell, News Channel 20. When you hear the word sport, you most likely think of football, basketball, baseball, as well as some others. But you probably don't associate this with being a sport. Well, at Glenwood High School, they just created the first esports program in Central Illinois.
It's just the student interest in finding a club for students who generally don't have something to do at school. Because the goal here is to try to get all students involved in something at school.
If I can literally do what I do every day and make a career out of it, or like at least do something for my school, because I've always wanted to just do something for the school.
This club will be a part of the Illinois High School Esports Association, or IHSEA. In just 2 or 3 years, that will be taken over by the IHSA, and it's even being recognized by colleges as a sport across the country.
One of my students, Isaac, actually is already getting messaged by scouts as a junior, as a mid-ranked player. He's getting scouted for their teams in college.
Even the possibility, like after college and everything, I could go on to make this a career if I felt like it, if I was good enough, and then I can make millions or something. I just think it's crazy.
So even though you don't see this in esports,
it's like any other sport at this point, except you're not playing outside. You're at a computer.
In Chatham, Karli Bell, News Channel 20.
Now sports with Karli Bell.
Guys, today was not a good day for me because this is the first Sunday without football, and I'm not happy about it. We got about 70 days into the NFL draft, but I have some NFL news for you, specifically for an SHG alum. A 1993 Sacred Heart Griffin alum, Brendan Daly, is actually moving closer to home. He was just hired by the Kansas City Chiefs for a defensive coaching position, and for the past 5 seasons, Daly was the defensive line coach for the New England Patriots. He is expected to take on a similar role with the Chiefs this upcoming season. Now we go basketball, 3 in a row. That's the current winning streak right now for the Fighting Illini after their overtime win over Rutgers on Saturday. And it was the freshman forward in Georgie who had himself a record-breaking day, scoring 35 points in a single game, which broke a 29-year-old record of most points scored by a freshman in a single game. That record was set by Deion Thomas in 1990. And the whole irony of this game was the fact that Georgie first played ball in Jersey and Rutgers looked at him and they didn't offer him a scholarship. Listen to what Georgie had to say.
Actually, Rutgers coaches talked to our coaches, stayed close, and they said they didn't have a scholarship to offer me. That was pretty funny because I played in New Jersey, and I was I think 370 recruit. Nobody really looked at me, but that don't matter. You know, you just keep growing, keep working every day. That's what I do. I work, and then things like this happen, man. It just pays off. Works pays off, man.
Let's check in on Illinois' next opponent in Ohio State, who took on Indiana this afternoon. We start with Romeo Langford, who finds Durham for the lay-in to cut the lead to 2 points for the Hoosiers. We go second half now, very early second half. Luther Muhammad knocks down the three-pointer to give Ohio State a larger lead. A little bit later, 4 minutes to go in the game. 3-point ball game. Langford hits the tray at the top of the key to tie the ball game up at 47 apiece. Tie ball game a little bit later at 52, and Andre Wesson of Ohio State takes it inside and gets the slam to give them a 2-point lead with 20 seconds left. Last chance for the Hoosiers. 4 seconds and counting. Devontae Green throws up the three and he misses. So Ohio State gets the win. Final score 55-52. So Illinois hits the road looking for their first road conference win of the season on Valentine's Day, February 14th. They take on Ohio State. Tip time set for 6. You can watch that game on ESPN. Illinois women had a home game this afternoon, hosted Wisconsin, and the Illini snapped a 9-game losing streak with the 78-68 win over the Badgers. Their next game will be on February 14th at Iowa at 7 o'clock. That game will be on the Big Ten Network Plus. Let's check in on the Illinois State Redbirds on the road taking on Missouri State. We start with Phil Fain, who's working the block for the reverse and lays it in on the right side. And then Tulio Da Silva, though, he answers right back for Missouri State with the layup of his own with a great hesitation before he lays it in. We go to Fain again. He finished with a game-high 22 points. And then off the miss, Malik Yarbrough over to Isaac Gassman. He's got the gas with the 3-ball, but Missouri State gets the win in thriller fashion. Final score 66-65, and the Illinois State women won today as well, 78-70 over Indiana State. That is all I have in sports. We'll be right back.